One, first and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Isaiah with the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechaha Kodash. So, will this lesson is edifying. And, Elder Apostle Tahar just posted this video that says, listen, okay? And right off the bat in the beginning, vocabs just laying this folly out on the table. And I want to respond to a few of these points that he made, because, obviously this guy thinks he knows what he knows, but he's a clown. He's a straight up clown. I'm gonna hit play and I'm gonna make this real quick. I just got a few points I want to make on a couple of the first few things that he mentioned.
The ones you like. You made it the most biblical. That's what you said it was. GMS is out here running talking about, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. GMS.
Okay, so that's the first thing that he mentioned, right? So Revelation 13, we all know this, but what else could this be talking about? Let's just get to the point. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, the reason I said charagma right here is because that's what that actually says when you go into the Greek. Charagma or charagma, okay, is how they pronounce it when you hit replay on the Blue Letter Bible. All right, go to Blue Letter Bible, put on a Strong's Concordance, go to Revelation 13 and 16, and it says charagma, which means a thing etched into the skin. All right, a thing or a stamp printed upon the followers of the Antichrist, which there are many Antichrists. But the point is, you're going to receive this indicator in your right hand or in your forehead, right? It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you're going to have a system, a monetary system implemented. And it's going to be deeper than money. Okay, but without this system, without being plugged into this system, you will not be able to buy or sell. And what the thing is that everything's going digital nowadays. Okay, you have, all these different governments coming out with these cryptocurrencies. I don't even know what the word them is, but the U.S. just released, okay, what they calling a stable coin. Okay, they're just releasing what they call a stable coin, USDC stable coin. Okay. The crypto with a stable value and many benefits over other currencies. Stablecoin is a new class of cryptocurrencies that attempts to offer price stability and are backed by a reserve asset. They're going digital. And what is already set up to go digital? You already got a chip in your car where you can put it onto a reader and it reads it and it verifies. Ding! Go ahead and put in your PIN number. Okay, let's do it. All right. And everything's moving to a blockchain type of situation. All right. So for you to sit there and laugh it off like this could be anything else. Okay, you're a fool, you're an agent, something. All right. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, and that last one right here, stigma, also represents a palisade or something that is stuck into your hand. Okay, so like I said, vocab's a clown. All right, let's play a little more.
Teaches that where it says there's going to be 200 million soldiers, is the large number of soldiers in Revelation. They teach that those are nuclear missiles coming on upon America. GMS teaches Babylon.
Okay, so let's address that. Okay, now it's the scripture is here. Revelation chapter 9 verse 16 says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. Right now, when you look up 200,000, it says, what is 200,000? It says that it's 200 million. So we got the number down. It is 200 million, right? So let's go back to Revelation and let's read some more, and you see what this could be talking about. First, we're going to start at verse 15. Revelation 9 and 15 says, and the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. So first of all, we're talking about the four angels, right? So Vocab's probably thinking in his mind, yeah, the four angels of the apocalypse, or the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Sure. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. Now let's hear the description of these horsemen. Let's see. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and brimstone. So fire, and I didn't look up jacinth. Okay, I'm gonna look up jacinth now. Jacinth. So look at that. That's a very fiery looking stone. Yellow, red, or yeah, it's like fire colors right there. You draw fire, reddish, orange, gem. You draw fire. That's what it looks like, right? So they had fire and fiery looking stones colored, and brimstone, okay, which brimstone was used to burn Sodom and Gomorrah, all right. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, meaning they were fierce, okay, which I could be off on how I'm describing that. But let's continue to read and it'll explain itself. It says, and out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. So wait a minute. What type of horses is these? So we got horses that got the heads of lions. And not only do they got lion heads, but they blow fire and smoke and brimstone out of their mouth. So we're looking at some really strange animals right now. If this is what, and he didn't even, mention it, but he didn't go deep into it, but still, okay, he's got to explain this. See, vocab doesn't understand prophecy, but let's continue. I don't want to keep on. All right. By these, verse 18, by these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. So why ain't it talk about the people that's riding on them yet? What about the people that's riding on? It says horsemen. And I saw the horses. So where are the men that are on these horses? Are the men doing anything, or are they just riding around on the backs of the horses while the horses are just lighting niggas on fire? Let's continue. All right. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Right. So when you talk about the tail of a serpent, I don't know if they have a name for this. But for lack of better way of explaining it, it's a missile trail. If you see right here, you see that's a missile trail. That looks like a serpent, a fiery serpent, okay? Missile trail. All right, this is what you have, and it looks like a serpent. Look at that. That literally looks like a snake right there. That looks like a cobra ready to strike. You see, this says giant planet. So Salaki, that ain't what that, but this right here. Missile trail, okay? Missile trail there, and then you got missile trail right here. You see? So to someone who's describing this, they're gonna say, "Wait a minute, this looks like a snake. Look at that smoke trail from the Delta." Shalaki, what is this? 4 rocket launched. I believe that's 4. Shalaki, if I'm wrong, but Delta 4. So look at these trails. These look like serpents. So, they're rocket trail. These different things can be interpreted as being serpents. So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but okay, it says their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. So when you talk about the part of a missile, what part of a missile does? Let's see if we can type that in. What part of a missile does damage? The trailing missile does damage. The ship moved out of die missile. Okay, self-prepared jet engine missile. How much damage? Missile mechanics. We're not gonna get all deep into missile mechanics, but we're gonna put this in, right? Warhead missiles is the default sub weapon of Sophia. Warhead missile. Which part of a missile contains the warhead? The forward section of a missile, bomb, torpedo, or the like contains the explosive or payload warhead. That part of a missile, projectile, torpedo, rocket, or other munition which contains either the nuclear or thermonuclear system, high explosive system, chemical or biological agents, or inert material intended to inflict damage. Okay? And with them, they do hurt. What is this talking about, vocab? If you want to say it's not down, I opened up paint. Let's go back to it. All right. It says, for their powers in their mouth, the powers in the mouth. Okay, where's the mouth? It's on the head, and in their tails, right? Because it's got the rocket propulsion in the tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, right, from the smoke trail, and they had heads, and with them they do hurt. The nuclear warheads are used to inflict damage. Okay, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not. So that's pretty much all I wanted on that. All right. So he's going off. All right. He's going off, man. Vocab don't know. Vocab small in the scriptures, man. He like to twist stuff.
All the texts describing Babylon, they're all actually describing America. GMS teaches that Abba.
Yeah, so we're gonna go on that. All right. So I got Revelation 14, right? Revelation 14 and 8 says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Okay, so this says that it's fallen and it's destroyed because it's gotten all of the people drunk, right? And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Right. So as you see it right there, it talked about Babylon is fallen, right? So let's get this next one. Okay, Revelation 18 and 10. Okay, matter of fact, Revelation 18 and 9, right? So we just read about the kings of the earth committing fornication, right? All right, the wine of the wrath of the fornication. It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and of iron and of marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. So who's the biggest importer and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine? And I read all this, right? See, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all the things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. Okay, you see, and they're gonna see. Look, they're gonna see this place destroyed. They're gonna see the smoke. Now, Babylon. Okay, Babylon, it still exists today. It's here. It's a city in Iraq, okay? It's a city in Iraq, and I'm gonna wrap it up after this. Now, when you go into the exports of Babylon, right? It's in Iraq. Now, Iraq's main exports are mineral fuels, including oil, okay? Gems, precious metals, fruits, nuts, copper, okay? All these different things are exported from Iraq. Now, list of countries by imports. So who's the number one importer out of all of them? The United States. You have to look at things spiritually. The United States is the number one importer of all countries. So when you look at this and it says that all these people, look, Revelation 18 and 18, and they cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein we were made rich, all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. All right, so that's pretty much all I wanted on that. But as you can see, and we are going to rejoice over this place, but as you can see, All right, going back to it, major importing company, they're gonna mourn because United States is not importing anymore. Now let's look. Let's even scroll down. Let's see. Is look. We don't even see. We won't even see. Look where Iraq is. Look where Iraq is. So this is where the actual Babylon exists. Iraq is so low on the import list. Do you think that all the merchants that have boats in the sea are gonna mourn if physical Babylon over there in Iraq gets destroyed? No. All right. But when America Babylon the Great gets destroyed, the number one importing country in the world, people are gonna mourn and weep and cry, and they're gonna sob, and they're gonna say, "Oh man, we can't sell our goods no more." You see, it only makes sense, you know, and there are things that you have to link together with common sense and vocab. Just don't know the scriptures. He don't know prophecies. If you don't know prophecies, you don't know the scriptures. All right, that's just the plain up and down of it. All right, America, Babylon the Great. America is Babylon the Great. All right, because it's the number one importing country. You know, so just going off of that alone, people are gonna mourn, and it even tells you that woe unto you, woe unto you, Asia. I'm gonna finish with this. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Now there's one that says, for thou art partaker of the hope. Second Ezra 15 and 46, it says, and thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. So who's the next one on the list? China. China. Asia. China. They just like America. Look how many imports. They damn near neck and neck with imports. You know, it's give or take a couple hundred, thousand, but you see what I mean, though. Very close. Scriptures once again wins over these false Christians, man. So anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutation to the hopefully elect. Then I want to say Shalom, Shalom.